together. What's up, everybody? I'm Gino G, and this is another episode of 8 Speed Racing. Today we have the beautiful 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia Sport with a 4-cylinder engine, 280 horsepower, 306 pounds-feet of torque. This beautiful sedan is not so beautiful once you find out all the real details. What? Today, I wanted to review this car. We're here in Montauk, over here in the Hamptons in New York. And what better place to have a beautiful Italian sedan ready for the road, open road, where you're able to go ahead and just put the throttle down and drive. Now, this car's been around for a good 3 years now, and they've made some major improvements. Driving the Alfa Romeo definitely feels way better than most cars. But I won't say it feels better than driving a Mercedes or a BMW. I just won't. Being an Italian and driving in an Alfa Romeo is a dream. Makes you feel like you're in the home country. But realistically, the car drives great. But most people are not buying cars for 5 to 10, 15,000 miles. They're buying them because they need them for the next 5 to 6 years, minimum. I rented this car on Turo for our trip and decided to do a review because this car has 23,000 miles on it. And for those of you that are familiar with Italian cars, will understand that Italian cars with a lot of miles start to break down. It's just a natural feeling. There's something that is inside the DNA, funny that we say it, the DNA within Italian cars, whether it be a Ferrari, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, they start to have problems. Italians have not perfected this perfect mobility that Infiniti can have, that Mercedes can have, that Porsche can have. If Alfa Romeo wants to jump into the game, they're going to have to compete with cars that are lasting 150, 200,000 miles. This car has 23,000 miles. It was rented on Turo, and it has a check engine light on, an oil pressure light on. The DNA switch doesn't work. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, is the car as beautiful a couple years later with all the miles put on the car? The answer is yes. The Alfa Romeo, the design, the style is beautiful. the original creator of the Giulia Quadrifoglio, which has 505 horsepower and ranges around 80,000 usually on the dealer lot, was the designer of the 458 Italia. So they knew what they were doing when they were designing this sedan. Yes, the steering wheel is very much like a true sports car. You really do have that 9 and 3 right here at your hands. The power is there based on this engine, which is also turboed. And remarkably, out of the 4-cylinder engine, you're getting 280 horsepower, but where you actually get the power from is the torque. All 4 wheels sit to the ground. You really can downshift and make it happen. Now, on a regular Giulia that doesn't have 23,000 miles on it and doesn't have a check engine light on and oil pressures, they all come with a DNA switch. And if you saw my previous video of the Alfa Romeo 4C, the DNA switch is very, very vital to what the car's performance really can do. When you think of Italian racing, you have to go back a long, long time ago. I'm talking 110 years ago. That's how long Alfa Romeo's been around. Alfa Romeo has been around for quite a while. And believe it or not, Alfa Romeo was the first Ferrari. So the DNA system is extremely, extremely important. Now, as much as I'd like to put it in these modes, it doesn't work, but I can explain it and let you understand what they mean. In my other video with the Alfa Romeo 4C, you really feel the different modes firsthand. Now, D stands for dynamic. What that does is basically like a Sport Plus mode. It opens the valves, it makes the throttle response a lot more responsive, and when you're driving, the instant turn and feel that you get is responsive and there's no delay. Second, the natural mode. The natural mode on an Alfa Romeo is perfect. There is nothing you need to change, do, or anything like that. It's get in the car and go. And with the gas mileage that it offers, you really can't beat it. I think that you get better gas mileage on this engine than you would in any other engine. There's nothing better than filling up your tank and then not having to go fill it up again after driving 300, 400, 450 miles on your tank. So, like I said, this car was rented, and taking the trip from close to Manhattan all the way into Montauk, which is a good 3-hour drive, it was very comfortable. There was nothing about this car that made it super uncomfortable. The driving position is very fortunate for you to take control of the car. Now, lastly, the last mode is the A, which is the all-weather mode. Basically, when you're in the all-weather mode, everything is dulled. It's like basically dulling your senses, you know? Honestly, you know what it feels like? It feels like when you get punched in the face. And if you haven't gotten punched in the face, go find someone and ask them to punch you in the face. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, having been punched in the face, you'll know that basically the all-weather mode is a dull of senses for the car. The throttle response is delayed. This is mainly for snow, rain, so that you don't crash the car. This car is equipped with sensors all around. You have a rear view backup camera. It really does make sure that you are safe when you are driving. In 2020, Alfa Romeo decided to do a little upgrades to their system. One being the navigation system. Before, the navigation system was a lot smaller. Now, it's pretty big if you ask me. I'm an Android guy, so to be able to plug my phone in and have this Android capability makes everything a lot easier. As well as a wireless phone charging station. To me, that's amazing. You can't beat that. Also comes with Apple CarPlay. Upgraded sound system is a Harman Kardon in here. I've heard it before. It's not amazing, to be honest with you. It's great that it's upgraded, but to me, nothing beats Bose. I think that they could have done a little bit better with their sound system choice. You definitely feel it. Part to that of why you don't feel it as well is the interior. The Alfa Romeo in 2020 did some changes, yes, but what they didn't change was the engine. The engine, it really is immaculate on what you can do with this car. This engine did not need to be touched. In fact, I really wish they offered a better V6 version or a turboed V6 version, which, by the way, the Quadrifoglio engine is the only other engine that they offer in the Giulia lineup. You either get a 4-cylinder 280 horsepower engine, or you get a 6-cylinder twin turbo 505 horsepower. I honestly think, Alfa Romeo, you're missing one in the middle for those enthusiasts that do want to drive this car, but maybe you're not interested in the 500 horsepower. I think you would sell a lot of Giulias. So, knowing that this car has an amazing engine, what they lack is you can definitely tell the Chrysler Fiat, it still exists within this car. And if they're going to take that next step forward, the high quality material that you will get in a Mercedes, in a Porsche, in a BMW, the craftsmanship of the leather to the Alcantara on your dash, on your ceiling, all of the above. Now mind you, I know these are options in this car, but I've even seen the higher priced leather. It's not as nice as you think. So going back to talking about the sound system, it doesn't sound that good in the sound system because of the amount of plastic and materials in this car. Yep, that's how you do it. So everything goes back to the main question. Is this car just beautiful on the outside and only good for a year and a half, 2 years maybe? Well, I mean, this car is only a year and a half old and there's problems with it. Now, let's go back 10 years. I would have never bought an Alfa Romeo, let alone a Fiat. Let alone even Ferrari owners 10 years ago are still talking about problems that they had with maybe even the 360 Modena. This is something that they need to make sure is much better because, to be frankly honest with you, Italians are getting there, but they are not there, and they have a lot of work to do. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but an S-Class or an E-Class, even a C-Class, is very, very superior to the design, the elegance that you have in a car. Now, mind you, a C-Class does not drive like an Alfa Romeo. I will give it that. This bad boy can do. Oh yeah. She'll do about 0 to 60 in about 5.1 seconds. Listed, it's going to list around 5.3, 5.2, but a lot of the car automobile magazines have reviewed this car and said when they tested it, it was in the low fives. So you definitely feel it, but once again, you feel the torque of the car. It's not so much the horsepower. There's no real lag in this car whatsoever. There are two types of people that are going to gravitate towards this car. One, you're an Italian fanatic who loves Italian cars and are thankful to the Lord above that Alfa Romeo decided to bring an amazing sedan to the United States. Number two, the other kind of person is going to be a daily driver. Someone that likes to keep their car in sport mode majority of the time. The Alfa Romeo, for the price, really focuses on the driving experience. So you're getting the one side of the world. And yes, you can pay for a little bit extras interior, but it's never going to compare to the luxuriousness that a Mercedes has, period. Understand your expectations of what price you're paying for this car. Now, would I pay $80,000 for the Quadrifoglio? Most likely, yes. Because basically you're paying for a Ferrari engine and a sedan that's not going to lose control. The important notification to take from this review is you will always feel that you're driving an Italian sedan. You will feel the road in the Alfa Romeo sports car. There is nothing that will take you away from that. You're reminded that it is Italian, but you're also reminded that it could be a little bit better. And for $44,000 for a brand new Alfa Romeo, it's not a bad price, but you need to be realistic of what you're about to get. You need to think of the future for when this car hits 60, 70, 80,000 miles, because you might have purchased it for 5-6 years on your car loan. Is this car going to feel the same way it did when it drives off the lot? The answer is no. It will not. They are not there yet with making sure that this is a sound, solid car. So, unfortunately, as an Italian, it's very sad to say that, but this was very important for you viewers out there to see what a car with only 23,000 miles can actually look like, but then also feel and drive. Now, I might be a little bit dramatic in what I'm saying, but I can't help that. At 23,000 miles, the check engine, check oil, the DNA switch doesn't work. That's pretty much the main blood of the car. That's not something that we choose to have when we're driving a car a year and a half later. We want it to last as long as we can. If you get to 100,000 miles or 90,000 miles and something happens, okay, fine. You drove the car. It's still a piece of machine. But take it into respect for what it is and understand that the Alfa Romeo is there, but it's just not there yet. Guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe. It helps this channel out. I want to create more and more videos for you. So if you viewers at home or any local and want me to review your car, something awesome and cool, I would be more than happy. Please go ahead and comment below. Send me a personal message. This one is for you guys. Don't forget, we are doing it and doing it well at 8 Speed Racing. I look forward to the next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.